Hey guys, welcome. My name is Leann, also known here as Small Town Stitches, and I'm finally back for another Flosstube. This is Flosstube, I think, 140. If you are new, welcome. I am primarily a full coverage cross stitcher. I do sprinkle in some things here and there, but primarily full coverage. And if you are returning, welcome back. Thanks for coming to hang out with me and giving up a little bit of your precious time that you have every day. It's been a while. You'll notice a little bit of a change of scenery. You'll also notice I'm next to a window. So I'm still in my office craft room. You get to stare at this amazingly beautiful dark brown wall behind me. I am standing. So if you see me fidgeting a lot, I'm going to apologize now. I may as well get the story out of the way and tell you guys. I hurt my tailbone pretty bad on Tuesday night. Wood stairs and socks don't mix. I had just got my daughter in the shower and was going downstairs to get my husband something and slipped, which I don't know how because I wasn't running or anything, and we've lived in the same house for like 12 years. But I slipped and I went down most of the stairs on my butt and my leg. So I have a huge bruise on the back of my right leg and my tailbone hurts really bad. My husband came running when he heard me fall and he's like, "What happened?" And all I could say was my tailbone. So yeah, it's really stiff and sore. I can sit, but I have to sit lopsided, so there's no pressure on my tailbone at all, and that only lasts for a couple minutes. So I'm standing, so if you see me fidgeting around a lot, that is why, and that is why this video is being filmed a little bit differently, and we are standing today. Hence the amazing title that I came up with. I couldn't resist, I had to. So since it has been over 5 weeks, we filmed last on July 21st, and it is now August 29th, so we're at the end of August already. We have quite a bit to talk about. So let's go ahead and dive in. It may be a little bit longer of a video, so I apologize. So, all right, first up, we're going to talk about Halloween night. This is my focus project for this year. I've been trying to do a daily 100, and if I stitch at night, I'll pull it out, but that's only happened a couple of times. So I have cropped this piece pretty much in half. So I have done, since you guys last seen it, 3,920 stitches. So I'll just do a side by side instead of being like, this is before. So this is where we're at. Here, I'll bring it back for a minute. Now, so we started at 90.84%. Now we're at 93.92%, and I have 7,756 stitches left in my cropped version. So this is the end. So this diagonal that we're working in is obviously into page 2, and I'm just working them aside. So here we go. I'll bring it in. We have done a ton since you guys last seen it. We have another headstone popping in, all these little ones over here, this little, I'm not sure if it's a path right now or like a retaining wall, but I have done a lot on this piece. And I'm quite proud of it. So yeah, getting closer. My goal is to have this finished by the end of October. If it finishes beforehand, that would be amazing, but that is my goal. So this one is stitched a 20 count 1/1. No, it's not 1/1. It's 2/1. With DMC. So, yay! I apologize if I'm already starting to shuffle from standing on one spot. My tailbone is already not happy. I am definitely going to have to take a leave or something today for my tailbone. It's okay. Pretty much going to do a lopsided lay on the couch type thing and stitch away, and I think I've conned Alicia into watching and having a Lord of the Rings marathon. So if you're bored, my family pretty much is leaving me until the end of, or sometime in Sunday they come home. So we're going to have a Lord of the Rings marathon, I'm thinking. Okay, I have a finish. I didn't even think about this because it's been so long since I last filmed. But I showed it to you guys that Mandy on Instagram, myself, Rainy, who is Rainy Day Reads and Crafts, and Alicia, who is Adventures of Stitching, decided to start the patriotic typeface pieces. And we started in the month of July with Lady Liberty. And I finished her off the next day, because why not? And here she is. I'll bring her in. That she's stitched on, I think this is an 18 count, like graphite from 123 Stitch. Just comes from Zweigart that way. Isn't she so stinking cute? I think she's adorable. I just used DMC for mine. You can see the hoop marks. I have like a whole, I can fit a whole nother one on the back. So I may just do that with the next one. I think in September, we are planning on starting another one. I'm not sure if we're going to start Uncle Sam or if we're going to start the Eagle. I think we're starting the Eagle, but I'm not positive. We're trying to tie them in with things. Independence Day for Lady Liberty. September is the month that the Star Spangled Banner was in. And then I think the other one we were planning to do is take October off and start the last in November, which November here would be Veterans Day. So there she is. There's another finish. Whoop, whoop. Trying to get them all done this year, or at least started, because I think we're doing no new starts next year. At least for the first half of the year, but we'll see. Okay, next up is my Stranded A piece. I did this for the month of July, and I just kept going for August. And this is Home with a Free by Shannon and Christine. I had started this along with Dawn Marie, who is DM Crafty Vortex, and Lacey, who is the Sleepy Stitcher. Lacey and I are still working on it. Dawn Marie got hyper focused and finished it already. But yeah, so I'll just show you where we're at right now. This is where we're at. I've gotten so much done. So we started at 37.72% is where you guys saw it last time. I'm now at 74.61%. We've done 2,196 stitches on this, and I have 1,514 stitches left to go. So bring it in. This is as wide as the piece goes, and I'm almost positive where the house ends right here. That's the end of the piece. It is going to be tiny. So here we go. It's so cute. I love working on it. It's a lot of white. This is a 20 count. I think it's Caramel Macchiato from Fiber on a Whim. I had it left over from when I did my Patriotic Sunflower by Sambry Stitches Designs. And yeah, I'm loving this. I'm hoping next time you guys see it, it'll be done. I'm really hoping. So there we go. This has been just one strand a day. I kind of cheated a couple times and done two. Like, I'll give you an example. This down here, this red color, I had just a little bit left, like in the flag to do, so I just started another strand and did it. Nobody's gonna know. It's okay. So, that's my strand today. Ow. I may need to pause and walk around for a minute. Here. Okay. This has to come off a hoop because I have to show you. So this is one I also got hyper focused on when I was doing my focus on a finish whips and decided that I was just going to work on it until it was done. This is Hobbit Hole. I think it was from Taiji Designs. I think it was on Etsy. And when I started this, last time you guys saw it, I was at 42.36%. Like I said, it's been like 5 weeks since we've last seen each other. I'm at 69.72% now. So this one I'm going to put a picture up of where I was. And here we are now. We've gotten so actually that fabric is pretty close right there. We've gotten so much done. Doesn't it look so freaking good? I've done 3,659 stitches. It has 4,130 left. So I'm going to bring it in for a minute. It has a little partial page over here, but the thing that's been helping me a lot with this, because it is so scattered and stuff like that and so many different color changes, is to just work it row by row, a row of 10 at a time. So when I finish this row that I'm on right now, like this row is completed, it's not full. So when I finish this page, this row will finish this page that I'm on, and then I'm going to go over and do the little partials and work those down. I have to count this out because on the bottom of the pattern, it says, "In a hole there lived a hobbit," or something like that. And those words make the pattern, really, truly. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room. So I'm going to have to count that out. These are done. That's how it is. So if you bring it back, it just looks so good. Gosh, I can't wait until this is done. It looks so good. It's one of those pieces that you definitely need to look at from farther back, because up front you're just like, is this done? So that is so exciting to me, that it's getting closer and closer. So those are kind of my dailies. They get touched every day. Some days if I'm not working, then it doesn't take me long to do those at all. A strand takes me a couple seconds, not really, a couple minutes. If I'm working, so I try to explain this to people. I work from home. If I'm working, I always have my stitching nearby. If work is busy, if I have stuff to do, I'm not touching my stitching. I have a job to do that I get paid for. But sometimes when work is, like if we don't have things or if it's slow for a little bit, some of us watch movies, some of us listen to audiobooks, and I stitch. We'll run off, do laundry, come back, refresh. Okay, now I have something to do type thing. It depends. So healthcare is like a lot of different jobs where some days it's slammed. You have so much to do, you feel like you can't even get up to go to the restroom. And then other days, you ain't got nothing hardly. It just depends. It depends on the hospitals, it depends on the doctor's offices, it depends on a lot of things. So, okay. Then I decided it was time to get some of these new starts and restarts done, because I really came up with a plan I came up with a new plan system and I wanted to start it, but I wanted to start all these too. So my first up, this is Reader's Paradise by Heaven and Earth Designs. Pretty sure the artwork is by Amy Stewart. I was actually gifted this pattern from a subscriber, and I've been wanting to start it for a very long time. So thank you very much. You know who you are, and it made my freaking day. Like, truly. She gifted it to me a couple months ago. So this was a new start. I'm starting it on 25 count, 2/1 tent. I had Abby at Cross and Crafts kit this up for me, so it is done with one label CXC. And I got 1,000 stitches in, because that's what I've been doing for my rotation, is 1,000 stitches, and we're at 0.27%. And here we are. Oh, it looks so good. So we're in the ceiling right now, and I've never been a Parker, but for some reason with the 25 count tent, instead of putting little pieces away that you can't really do a lot, I can do a lot with this if I just continue it the next time. Now if the color is ending and or it's not in the next diagonal, I don't carry it. So, but this is where we're at right now. Trying to get the lighting to cooperate with me. It's picking up on this paint, which is a struggle. So there we are. Gosh, it looks so good. So with my new starts, I wasn't sure if I was going to get to this piece anymore this year, or a lot of my new starts, and that's okay. But September 5th is Leann from Leann Stitch's birthday. She's also the Leann from Forbidden Fiber Co. So she is doing a hashtag. I know Instagram doesn't really do them anymore, for the Bookish Birthday Sale, S-A-L. And she just wants you to stitch on something that has to do with books on her birthday. And Reader's Paradise is definitely a book thing. So I think I'm going to try and bust this out on September 5th and stitch on it for Leann's birthday. So I can't wait until this is done. It looks so stinking good. Okay, next up. Oh God. A restart times, I don't even know how many times we've restarted this at this point. So I decided to restart Mini Sea Opal by Elizabeth Welker. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs as well. You guys, I've restarted this so many times. I originally got inspiration from this, for this piece, from Mika, who is Darling Bluebell on YouTube. She hasn't put a video out in a little while. I think she should, because she's always got great pieces. But I've started this 7,000 different ways. And then I got Ebony and Stacy, who is in Stitches with Ebony, and Stacy Stitches, or Stace Stitches on as well. And here I am restarting and restarting and restarting. So I restarted this on 25 count, 2/1 tent. I'm loving it right now. And here's my baby new start. So we've done 1,000 stitches, and this is at 0.95%. And you guys, I'm loving it. I have no plans to restart it, and I'm super happy. This one is a 2/1 tent with DMC. So, you know what? I wish cameras did not blow blues and greens out like it does, because it's really hard to get them to focus. So that's where we're at. Just trust me, it's pretty. Maybe not so much this corner's pretty, but it will be pretty eventually. So yeah, I am so excited. Stace just finished, she's working bottom left up, and she just finished the partial down here. So Mandy Parker actually is working on this too, and she's got a couple rows of pages done. So I'm so excited. Yes, I have stuff next to me. So then I was sitting here thinking about some pieces. I personally, now this is no hate, don't like my 18 count 2/1 full cross anymore for full coverage. I still love my 18 count, obviously, my typeface or being done on that. But I just find, especially for confetti heavy things, it's very, very tight. So I decided I was restarting 2 projects that were on 18 count full cross. My stocking is also 18 count full cross, and I'm not restarting that. Nope, it'll stay at 18 count, but I'm kind of glad because it'll also make it bigger. But my first one, I decided to restart. I enabled Nikki Stitchy with this, and in return, she turned on and enabled me to restart it on a smaller count. So that is my mini old kitchen. I had quite a bit done. I actually have it here to show you guys. I'm going to keep the fabric, probably dye it and use it for little smalls or something. But this is what I had done. Guys, I had 1 full page, and I think this was a second I was working on. It looks beautiful. It looks so cute, but I didn't want to do it anymore on 18 count. I found myself not wanting to pick it up. And if I don't want to pick a piece up, something needs to change, especially if I love the piece. Even if I have progress like this, if I'm not enjoying it and I don't want to pick it up, something needs to change. So I changed it. So this is where we were. And I got 1,000 stitches in. and we're now at 1.36%. And there's my restart. In the little corner, I'll try to show you the difference between the two. I'm not very coordinated like this though. So you can see, look how big this is here, and look how small it is here. 18 count, 25 count. So it kind of brings it into how much smaller it's going to be. So I can't believe it. I can't believe I restarted it, but I did, and I have zero regrets. So the nice thing is I had all the obviously floss because I was working on it, but I just basically took my fabric from Sea Villains that I was going to restart and cut it for my other two. So I'm going to pause for a second. I need to go walk for a minute. Okay, sorry. I realized why my lighting seems so funky because the clouds keep covering the sun. Okay, next up, we have another new start. So we did a new start, 2 restarts, and now we're on another new start. This is called Waters of Nirvana, and I started this along with Ebony, who is in Stitches with Ebony. I just adore her. So hopefully I have a picture of what the full piece looks like. And she's starting from the bottom up, so go see her channel if you want to see the difference in our pieces. And I've cropped a lot of mine out. Actually, I've cropped like 43% of this piece out. So I'm going to show you what mine is going to look like. Takes a lot of those clouds and the sun and stuff out, and it makes it just look a little bit more mysterious, I guess. So I had originally started at first. Where's my start originally? I didn't even get 1,000 in. It's okay. So this was my original start, and I was just like, I don't like the way the tree starts like that. Like, I wasn't like, I was liking it, but I wasn't like loving it, if you understand what I'm saying. So now, my piece is going to be out of 237,250 stitches, and I've cropped out 185,250 stitches. So it'll be interesting to see what Ebony's looks like. Mine's going to be like a little bit more mysterious, but I wanted the focus mostly on those amazing flowers, but I didn't want to lose like the Japanese buildings and stuff like that. So here is where I'm at now. I've done 1,002 stitches, which is, I did the calculation, 0.04% is what I've done. Supposedly. Anyways, so this is our corner that we're now working in. So we have our tree and the blue, like the sky, and I'm really excited. Ebony will probably blow me out of the water with this. I'll talk about my plans here in just a few projects, but yeah, this is where we're starting. 25 count 2/1 tent again. This one is also a DMC. I have quite a bit. So far, Reader's Paradise is CXC. Mini Sea Opal is DMC. Mini Yule Kitchen is also DMC, and so is Waters of Nirvana. So, I'm loving it. And that's all that matters, right? We need to love the projects we're stitching on because they are taking us forever to do them. I have so many notes down here, so I apologize if I keep looking down. I apologize if this video is a hot mess express. I'm doing my best. And it's been a while, so I feel completely out of the loop for videos. Next up was another restart. Alicia and I originally started this project back in, Alicia, when did we start this? December of last year. And This is Hobbiton by Stitchy Masterpieces. I almost said Stitchy Reese Pieces, which Erica, I love you, but you didn't design this pattern. And it has blends. So we were originally doing this on 20 count. We were going to do one leg, one color of the blend, and one leg, the other color of the blend. And no. I gave it the best college try. We had 1,000 in, and we were both like, it was taking forever because then you had to like go back and do it all over again. No. So we both just decided we were going to do this on 25 count tent, with, you know, 2/1 tent, and it works so much better for the blends. So I got 1,000 stitches in, bringing me to 0.43%. My math must be off on Waters of Nirvana because there's just no way. So yes, this is where we are now. So you can see some of those blends coming in a little bit. This is, I think, a mountain, and then we got some of that sky starting. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the end of, yep, because it's feathered a bit. So this is the end of a page already. This is not the bottom, but this is the, so I'm much happier than where I was. So there's obviously a couple missing, but yeah. 25 count, 2/1 tent, restarted. And again, 0 regrets. I know a lot of people don't like to restart things. I mean, if we keep restarting everything, we'll never finish things. But at the same time, if you're not touching something or you're not happy with it, change it. And I love the art. So I wanted to keep it. So, but I wasn't enjoying it. So change it, because then you'll want to pick it up. Okay, let me switch some projects around, grab my last 4, and we'll talk about my change of plans for this year. Okay, I 100% lied. We're not doing plans yet because I just found another one that I restarted. I had like 2 pages done on this almost. So I'll show you. This is Mini Sunflower Cottage. Artwork by Donna Gelsinger. It is a Hade. This is where I was. So I was really close to finishing page 2, and then there was one more page, or I don't even remember, but this is where I was on my 18 count 2/1. And the thing that made me really want to restart this is I wasn't loving the way my stitches looked. And down here where you're switching colors and stuff all the time, it was getting to the point where it was getting hard to put my needle in. It was too thick down in this area. And for whatever reason, I decided to go horizontal right here and vertical right here, and there's a distinct line. So my tip for people, if you are stitching blocks like that on a diagonal, it can be done. Just make sure they're both going, if this diagonal and this chunk is all horizontal is how you chose to stitch it, when you come down to do this chunk, go horizontal, don't go vertical. You'll notice. So just learn from my mistake. But I chose to restart it. Again, we had that fabric from that we were going to be starting Sea Villains again, but we scrapped. So 25 count 2/1 tent, 1,013 stitches gave us 1.80%. It's a small piece. So there we are. And I chose on this one to do like the max color. I think she does 2 rows. So as you can see, I did that and I just worked across this way. So if I fold this and try to line it up, you can see how much smaller it's going to be, because this is this. This is the start of this down here. So it's going to be size-wise, it's going to be itty-bitty when we're done. And I'm happy. So yeah. Again, if you're not happy, change it. Change it, change it, change it. Even if it's for someone, because it's going to take you a while to stitch it. And we should be happy as we're stitching things. Okay, so now let's talk about this new rotation, these new plans that I came up with. I really hope I'm not touching this microphone and it's not unbearable. If it is, I'm truly sorry, but I don't think I would actually refilm again today. So I've decided that all my projects started prior to 2025 need at least one page finish on them. So I put all my projects, went through them all. If I have a picture of my wheel, I'll insert it, and figured this out. All my projects that have at least one page finished will get 1,000 stitches, and then they get blacked off my wheel. All my pieces that need a page finish will probably get 1,000 stitches for that rotation and just stay on my wheel. And then eventually they'll get blacked out more and more. Is that clear as mud? So if they need a page finish, if they don't have a single page finish, they're going to get one. If they already have at least one page finish, they're going to get 1,000 stitches and then get blacked off the wheel. Once I hit my page finish on a particular piece that I was working towards, that will get blacked out as well. And then we'll just keep spinning. So my first piece that I spun was A Beautiful Place by Stitches So Beautiful, artwork by Eder Jose Rosa. This piece does have a page finish, so it was slotted for 1,000 stitches. So I started at 2.53%. I'm at 3.46% now, and here we are. So this was our page finish. We are working on page 2, and I had a lot of fun with this one because I kind of went cross country across the whole page by color. Stitches So Beautiful pages are smaller. I could never go cross country all over Heaven and Earth Designs. I would miscount so incredibly badly. But this was so much fun to do. So this is on a 20 count, 1/1 full cross with CXC. And I was having a ball. I didn't want to stop, but I got plans I'm working on. So here we are. First goal off that list because it had a page finish, so it got 1,000 stitches. So there we are. Stace Stitches has done a ton on this piece. Tanya has done a ton, and yeah, they're way ahead of me. Okay, so then I decided to spin again because I needed a new goal, and it gave me another piece that had 1,000 stitches, and this is Turquoise by Carolyn Manning. This piece had like 3 pages finished, I think, because I'm on the second row of pages. So it was slotted to get 1,000. Our starting was 44.60%, and our ending is 47.40%. So here, I'm trying to put it so we can do side by sides this time. Here's where we are. So just working on that next page, and I was having a ball. This one is 18 count, 2/1 full cross. So see, I don't mind. Just depends on the piece. So it's not like I'm anti 18 count. Okay, so our next spin was one that was not going to go off the wheel because it needs a page finish. This is Mini Farm Stand by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Donna Gelsinger. Like I said, this one needs a page finish, but Heaven and Earth Design pages are enormous compared to a lot of other companies. So we are starting at 1.93%. I did 1,000 stitches for this rotation. So because the page finish is not complete, it will stay on my wheel. And we're ending it at 3. I think, I don't know if it's a 2-0 or a 7-0 because I wrote it very sloppily. So here we are. So we finished this diagonal and started in on our next. So I think this is the page. Like, I think we've hit it across, if I'm not mistaken, or no, we did, because look how I'm feathering the edges. So we've hit across on the page. So now we just need to come down. So this will stay on the wheel because it's not done. So loving that one. That one's a 20 count with CXC floss. My next that I spun that I'm getting ready to work on is God Shed His Grace. And that one's going to be a little bit different. I'll put a picture of my pattern keeper here. So this one needs a page finish, but I'm working on this one with diagonals across all the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my page finished. This next diagonal that I'm working on will actually finish page 1, but it's also into page 2 and page whatever was underneath. So the diagonal will be huge, and technically it'll probably be like 2 pages finished almost if you include the other ones, but that's okay. So I will work on one big diagonal. I'll do 1,000 stitches for this rotation. The diagonal won't be complete, but so the ones that I'm working on diagonally like that, I'm still going to keep them, I think, in the big long diagonal. Okay, that's all my projects. I told you I worked on a lot. I have no haul because I am trying to do a no buy for the next 6 months until the end of the year, which will then be even interesting if I can buy stuff but can't start stuff, but that's a whole nother conversation. My throat's really dry today. Books. I've been listening to a ton of audiobooks. So I finished my Throne of Glass series. I was on the last book the last time I filmed. I finished it, and then I felt like I was in a massive reading slump because there was like 7 books-ish. And I spent, like, each book was like 18 hours to listen to or more. So then I was like, well, where do I go from here? So I didn't listen to any audiobooks for a little bit. And then I found Under the Tulip Tree by Michelle Shockley. I loved that book. So I'm very hesitant to give a lot of like a synopsis of a book because I find, for me personally, the way some people describe books, it's basically like they tell you the entire book. So you're like, well, what's the point of reading now? I don't know. That's just me thinking. And I really like the way Leann Stitches does hers because she's not like that. But this takes place in like the stock market crash era of 1920s. And basically a girl gets a job interviewing people that were former slaves. And gosh, I don't want to give a lot. Basically, it's about what comes about one of the interviews. It was amazing, and I think you should check it out. But I don't want to give any more away because then I feel like, what's the point of reading the book yourself? I recommend. This was the second Michelle Shockley book that I've read, listened to, read, whatever. And I liked both of them so far. So then I decided to get on the NetGalley bandwagon after listening to Jamie, who's Crafty Gaming Jamie. She was talking about it, and I was like, well, let's go check this out. And I have since, like, made my life basically be on pause because I've requested too many, and then it took forever, and I was like, well, I'll request more. Obviously, they didn't approve me, and then they did, and I have like 5 books I have to listen to right now. Okay, so the first one I listened to was For Richer, For Poorer by Danielle Steele. This is the first I've ever listened to of anything of Danielle Steele's. And I actually really liked it. I wasn't sure where it was going to go at first because it was talking kind of about the fashion industry and COVID and stuff like that. And if you don't know me, obviously I am not a fashionable person at all. In the winter, fall, spring, I live in like sweatshirts and most of the time like jogger pants or sweatpants. And I live in like t-shirts and jogger pants most of the time. Like I am not a fashionable person at all. But this was light heart and I actually really liked it. It was really fun and cute to listen to. So actually I should back up for those who don't know what NetGalley is. So NetGalley, it's free to sign up. It is a place for you to listen or read books before that they come out and are published, actually. So all the books that I'm talking about are not published technically. They're not released yet. So they're called ARCs, Advanced Reader Copies, basically. And all you do is listen or read them. And they just ask you to give feedback, like a review, basically, of them. Some people get really in-depth and write reviews. I do not. I write reviews. Basically saying if I liked the author, if I liked I do a lot of the audiobooks, so if I liked the reader, kind of a general idea if I liked the story or not, stuff like that. The publisher is looking for feedback, essentially. So my next that I listened to was called Hot Shot, A Life on Fire by River Selby. And this was my first book which stinks because it was only book 2 that I got, that I didn't love. I wanted it to be so much more than it was. So she was a firefighter, that's out in doing the like forest fires. Like they go all over like California and Alaska and stuff like that. And being a firewife, I just was expecting it to be something different. But I'm not going to call it bad because it's someone's account, it's someone's life. But it just wasn't what I was expecting. Next up was, I listened to is Confronting Evil. This is by Bill O'Reilly. And I am also on Goodreads, but I looked and this had like a 2-star rating on Goodreads. Granted, it's an ARC, so it's not published yet. So one person gave it like a bad rating or whatever, which of course just dropped it. And I don't know why. I loved this book. Like I couldn't stop listening to it. I thought it was fabulous. It talks about different leaders throughout the world and kind of the evil that surrounds them. So they talked about like Adolf Hitler. They talked about going back into like the Roman Empire ages and stuff like that. I thought it was fabulous. I liked it. But then again, I love historical things. So the next up going on historical things is a historical fiction book, and this was called The Righteous by Ronald H. Balson, I believe. And it is a historical World War II documentary taking place in like Hungary and that aspect, which is kind of interesting because you don't hear a lot of World War II books tend to not focus over in there. So it was a story about it's actually started in the state of Michigan, which is ironic, at the University of Michigan, of these girls who finished their education and went back to help others and left the United States to go over there during this time. And I loved it. I was so into it, and the book was like building up until the ending, and then it was just done. And I was like, what happens next? They're on this train. What happens next? And it just ended. So I loved the book, but it almost made you think that there was like another book coming or a part 2 coming because it just ended and it was like, oh, so-and-so did great. And I'm like, what the frick? So that's my only drawback. The ending just was crappy. The one I'm on right now, I'm still listening to it. I did start listening to one and scrap it as it just was not for me. And I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. And it wasn't that it was written wrong. So it was a story about a guy interviewing other people who had murdered people in prison, including himself, and like their stories, like their backgrounds and stuff. And it was just too sinister, too dark for me. I couldn't do it. So like I said, it wasn't that it was poorly written or something, or that the guy reading it was bad. It's just, it was not for me. So the books, the last one I'll talk about for books is The Dirt Beneath Our Door, and that is by Pamela Jones. And this is a polygamy book, and it's a story about a girl. Like I said, I can't give the whole thing, but it's a story about a girl and her upbringing, and she was brought up in Mexico. And I think it leads up to her escape. I don't know. I'm just at the point where she's like 15, 16 years old right now. So that's the one I'm listening to right now. And I have 3 or 4 waiting after this book. So I've been listening to audiobooks like crazy when I'm working, and if I'm not on the phone and talking to doctors' offices and hospitals and stuff, I'm listening to my audiobooks. I'm sorry, my throat is so dry. Okay. Life. I feel like a lot of life has happened in the last like 5 weeks since we've talked. I fell down the stairs. I can't really sit. Wednesday, we drove to drop my daughter off at school, and I asked my husband to drive, and I thought I was going to cry the whole way there. Any bump, I can't. So I bought a donut, one of those donut pillows to sit on. I can't even sit on that right now. I kind of put it in my car yesterday, which then I felt like I was super tall, but that's the way I was able to take her to school and back, and I was in almost tears by the time I got home. So my family, we had this trip planned to go up north this weekend to my husband's buddy's family's cabin. They've been friends since they were 4, so 44 years. And we were all going to go up there and take the dogs and stuff like that and go up. We were only going to be able to stay for a night because we had stuff on Sunday that we had to do. And yeah, I can't travel in a car right now and sit, and much less, I mean, I barely made it 5 minutes to the school and back, much less 3 hours one way in a car. And I can't. So I'm really, really bummed to get to go up north, and that's my favorite place ever to be, surrounded by nothing but trees, but I just can't. So Bella and my husband, Brent, are on their way up there, and they took Cupcake with them, who is our younger and bigger of the 2 dogs. He took her with him to try and give me a break. So it is me and little old man here, which is our other dog, Titus. And the house is very quiet and it's creepy, and it's gonna be like this for a couple days, and I don't know what to do with myself. So apparently after I film, what time is it? 11 o'clock, figure out some lunch and sit crooked and stitch probably and watch some movies or something. So life, my daughter has started soccer. So 5th grade has brought about a lot of changes, or they are able to sign up for sports. So soccer is 5th through 8th co-ed. So she started soccer 2 weeks before school started. So practice has been 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. And then games start this coming week. So the day after Labor Day, it's her first game, and it's an away game. So we got to drive like 30 minutes to it. I did get permission from my boss to leave work early Tuesdays and Thursdays so I can go to her games. And I was just so I'll just use my lunches and stuff, or start early on Tuesdays and Thursdays to make up for it. So I'm so thankful that I have such a boss that's letting me go to her games and understands the importance of being there for your kid and showing up. So we are in soccer. Soccer goes till mid-October, and beginning of October, I think band starts. So she'll have 2 weeks where she has both of them. But then soccer will drop off and band starts in the morning. So school started. This was we just finished our first week. It was only 4 days because they have today off because of the holiday weekend. They also have the coming Monday off. She's in 5th grade now, y'all. Just as for clarification, when I first started this channel, she was 10 months old. I told her, I said, just bear with Mama this year because it's going to be hard. It was hard. It's our first day of going into the elementary building for school, because next year she, 6th grade, goes in the middle school building. It's the last year of the grade concerts. So like the, 5th graders getting up and singing their Christmas songs and their spring concert. It's the last year for that. It's just a lot of lasts, she's growing up so fast. And I'm not ready. Wasn't expecting to start getting teary-eyed. Sorry. Wow. Just grow up so fast, So before school started, I think the weekend before, we did a end of summer cookout here. She had to miss her daddy-daughter dance last year, and so she was really bummed. So she invited a couple of her friends over from school and stuff and their families, and we had an end-of-year cookout. So I had taken that day beforehand off of work, and we did like, her family, they brought stuff for like s'mores, and one of them brought fruit, but I made spaghetti salad, homemade potato salad. We did burgers and hot dogs, chips. I did a veggie tray for anybody, but especially the kids, because most kids aren't eating spaghetti salad and potato salad. So it was nice. It was nice to have some people over, and it was nice to have a small gathering of people. It wasn't overwhelming. And she originally had planned this whole playlist, and they were going to dance and stuff. They danced for 2 songs and then decided roasting marshmallows was more important. So we did that. And then it's just been crazy. So I'm guessing this coming week homework will start. We didn't have any this past week, thank God, but it's been busy, and this fall will be busy, at least, until soccer's done, and then we can have a little bit of a break, because I was trying to explain to her, when we have soccer, we're not getting home probably until 7. So you'll probably have to eat, I'll take dinner for her to eat in the car on the way home. And then when you get home, you're gonna have to take a shower, and then we're gonna have to try and do your homework real quick, because you still have to be in bed on time for school the next day. She originally wanted to do another sport in the winter, and I was like, let's try just one, because you have band coming up too. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But I think that's all life. My husband and I have just been working, and just our same old stuff. But yeah, so I think that's all for me. Hopefully I didn't forget stuff, but I can truly, in fashion, I will end and be like, oh, I should have said whatever. So yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Remember, your mental health is important, and to take time for yourself each and every day in whatever form that is, and to be a light to the world around you, because heaven knows that it's needed. So I will see you guys hopefully, and not 5 weeks from now, because my mental health has been a little bit funky too. So hopefully it'll be in the next couple weeks. But take care of yourself and take care of each other, and I will see you guys later.